That was Fuigasa that are getting us into the spirit this St. Patrick's Day as the morning goes on. You're very welcome back to our portable pub, the Shebean. It is, of course, St. Patrick's Day, so we decided to take a stab at perfecting the perfect Irish coffee. Not an easy thing to do, but Seaneen Sullivan from L. Mulligan Whisky Shop is here to show us exactly how it's done to perfection. Good morning to you, Seaneen.
Good morning, Anna. How are you?
We've managed to move you into our little Shebean. It's a little bit tight, but it's snug. It's snug, isn't it?
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
So lots of people might be thinking about making the perfect Irish coffee today.
Absolutely.
So where do we start?
First. So I guess the important thing is to keep it simple. We've got great Irish ingredients here. We've got some beautiful cream. We've got some locally roasted coffee, and we've got great whiskies.
And we are really boxing above our weight as a nation when it comes to the success of Irish whiskey brands, aren't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the fastest growing spirits category in the world, and it's something we should be really proud of. We have a long, kind of rich history of kind of whiskey production in this country, and so it's great to see it coming back.
Okay, so we're going to use it in an Irish coffee this morning. So I believe warming the glass is the first step.
Yeah, so I've pre-warmed the glass there, and I've just emptied out the water, and that's important. We're using tempered glass. So, but if you don't have tempered glasses at home, just stick a spoon in them so that the hot water doesn't crack it. But just warm the glass.
And this is the ideal glass, is it?
Yeah, it's a good shape.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and it's a nice volume. It's not too much, which is kind of important. You don't want to kind of get the ratios out of whack. So, so we're going to start by putting the brown sugar in.
Okay.
So, just a teaspoon or so of brown sugar. You could also use honey, local honey would be nice, you know, it'd be another kind of, Irish twist on it.
Of course, but something to sweeten it and balance out the flavours.
For sure, and also because this helps the cream float as well by increasing the density of the liquid down below the cream. So I've measured out the whiskey. So this is a 40 ml measure of whiskey, so a little bit stronger than a pub measure. And again, it's because you want it to be in balance. So 40 ml. Just if you have like a
so if you have a shot,
just let a little bit pour over.
Okay. I think us Irish tend to do that anyway, don't we? We're quite flahula.
Heavy-handed. So there we go. Now I'm just going to give that a stir, but it's really the coffee that's going to dissolve the sugar.
Okay.
So we're using French press coffee, but if you have like a coffee machine or an AeroPress or anything like that, you could.
So this is about whatever your own preference is when it comes to coffee.
For sure. I mean, we're trying to keep it simple. It's important kind of to use a nice, I guess, strong flavoured coffee.
Yes.
The whiskey that we're using is this one here, and it's really going to emphasise like the chocolatey kind of caramel notes in the whiskey when we kind of have the coffee and the sugar together. So I'm just giving that a stir just to make sure everything is dissolved.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to have kind of crunchy sugar crystals at the end of your
coffee.
coffee.
Definitely don't want that.
There we go.
And what whiskey are you using today, Seaneen? So
we're using the Jameson Caskmates. It's it is a stout barrel finished whiskey, which means that the whiskey is spends some time in a cask that previously held some stout.
Okay, so it still has that flavour.
Yeah, like a chocolatey, nutty kind of roasted coffee flavours.
Okay,
which is kind
but
of
I suppose whatever whiskey you have at home will work.
For sure, and the other whiskies we have here today are kind of Dublin brands as well. So we've got DWD and we've got the Liberties, and like a blend is good for an Irish coffee. You know, you don't want to be sticking kind of a single malt or a single pot still.
Okay.
Although if you're feeling decadent, like it's whatever you have on hand, it can work.
Of course.
It's good to
we need to finish it off, don't we, with the cream?
We do, that's right. Now, so this is usually I've whipped this a little stronger than I normally would, just because it's important that it kind of floats today. So
so we don't want it to sink.
We don't want it to sink. That would
there we go.
There we go.
That's
so
lovely.
It's got that nice kind of graduated. There we go. So yeah, I would not like. Again, it's to your preference. I mean, we're using really good quality Irish cream here, but if you want it a little bit kind of, I guess, not as heavily whipped, that's good too.
It certainly smells good.
Yeah,
Can I have a little taste?
Of course, absolutely.
Oh, that's absolutely gorgeous. Not for the faint-hearted.
No, it is strong. It is strong.
Seaneen from L. Mulligan Whisky Shop, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now, we will go back to Laura, who's in Dublin City Centre. Laura, how are you getting on?